Coming up today on Houston Life, he's best known for his role on Entourage. Award-winning actor Jeremy Piven is in town, and we've got details on where you can catch him this weekend.
And we're rounding out our Mom VERSATIONS series with the best and worst parenting advice we've ever received.
And after 44 years of covering some of the biggest stories in Houston, Phil Archer is signing off. We'll chat with him about his decades-long career.
We're at the Houston Zoo, where you can see right behind here, we're going to be heading behind the gates to go and check out some prehistoric beasts. That's all happening here as their exhibit is about to open. All of that and more today on Houston Life.
Live from Studio B and KPRC2. Houston Life starts now.
We made it to Friday, folks. TGIF, Friday, March 5th, 2021. Where are you taking notes?
I'm writing myself a note so I remember to say something.
What? Say it.
No. We'll get to it.
We'll get to it. How are you feeling about it being Friday?
Oh, I'm so excited about it being Friday. I feel like this week was very long.
So do I. So do I. I think we've already hit the 2021 slump. You know, I did something last night. I'm sorry you couldn't make it. You were invited. You had another thing to do. But I know we're about to hit our 1 year of the pandemic mark. And before the pandemic, one of our favorite things to do was just to be out in the community, connecting with people, meeting viewers, visiting local businesses, shopping, dining out, and all of that. So last night, the Hispanic Culinary Institute did something really, really cool. They did the first of this new culinary pop-up series, which will be open to the public, totally following COVID-19 protocols, but it's featuring chefs like Karen Verma, David Cordua, and our friend Tangi Patton of Good Taste TV is on the culinary committee. But the whole purpose of this is to really get people, it's an outdoor thing. They cap it at a small number of people, but they feature a different restaurant every single month, and it allows people to just sort of reconnect. It helps the restaurants, and I think it also helps people, you know, culturally come together, whether you're from Mexico or Cuba or Venezuela. It focuses on Latin America. So it was really nice just to sort of be outside on a beautiful night.
And a great night, too. And Chef Kieran and Chef David Cordua, they're very good friends. They've cooked alongside each other for a long time. Yeah. And I love their cooking styles, and I think it's great that they paired up again, of course, right in our backyard. So
yeah, and in the post-COVID era, I mean, everyone has sort of had to shift the way they do things, but it was just nice. It was a little slice of normalcy that I haven't felt in a really, really long time.
Absolutely. And again, it looked like a beautiful backdrop there, too.
Yeah, right there at the Institute, right there in their parking lot. They strung up some lights, and there you go.
Okay, well, you know, with the good times comes bad. So, you know, like we always talk about sometimes adults behaving badly.
Uh-oh.
Y'all.
What?
Here, this is truly, I think, a sign of the times. So there's this thing going around. Now, you remember dining and ditching? Well, there's a virtual version of this.
Oh, no.
Restaurants, of course, obviously have had a tough time during the pandemic, right? They had to close and
lay off staff.
Yes, not getting deliveries and everything, right? Now, to make matters worse, there's a new scam that's this virtual dine and dash. And so basically, customers are placing orders and then disputing said order either with their credit card company or even like an app if they use that to get their food, saying they didn't receive their order.
What?
Yeah. And often this basically results in a refund. So then the restaurants give you what you wanted, and then you're getting your money back.
So who takes the hit? The restaurant takes the hit, or the delivery service? That's unbelievable.
Horrible. I know. So this was first reported in the Los Angeles Times. We do have a complete article on today.com. Don't do it, but it's another one of those things of like adults behaving badly.
Well, restaurants have already been hit so hard that I can't imagine. Well, first of all, I can't imagine stealing at all. That's essentially what's happening here. People are stealing. But my gosh, I gotta believe that the karma gods are hard at work these days, especially over the last few days. We've talked about some of the local businesses. You know, a couple days ago, we mentioned how local businesses are saying, look, we're gonna require masks. We're gonna have our employees wear masks. And you have all these Karens who are like, well, I'm not coming. Trust me, these local businesses know what they're doing. They know what's best for their business, Karen. Not sure why you feel the need to weigh in.
I know, but
keep
it's
it
okay.
up.
I know. Adults behaving badly.
It's kind of, you know what's funny? So my best friend Lois in LA, one of our dear friends is Karen, and she's amazing.
Oh.
She's amazing.
It's just an unfortunate time to have that name.
But she said that when she goes now to Starbucks, she gives them a fake name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's her new name?
It's
just
like
changes?
really over the top, like Glamorama something.
Well,
And
see,
then they
I
have a
would
good
do
laugh
that.
about her name actually being Karen.
I would do that, and then I would forget that, oh, was that me? Was that the name I gave? You know, I'd be waiting there for 2 days looking for my coffee and getting mad that I'm not getting the order when it's been there the whole time with the fake name.
I know. I think we should give Karen a break. Maybe we should call Karen's Cruella.
Don't forget about Ken, because Ken, too.
Ken's out there, too.
Yeah, Ken and Karen, make a pair.
A lot of people waking up on the wrong side of the bed. Okay, so daylight saving time is coming.
Not an S.
Saving, no
Saving,
S.
singular.
It's not a bank account, people.
One day.
Daylight saving time, not a savings account. So you know how people always talk about how the Monday after daylight saving time happens, the time change, there are more car crashes in the morning, people are in foul moods because you're circadian...
Well, the spring forward, right?
The spring forward.
Yes.
But even when we fall back, though, I think it still messes with people's routine, right?
Probably the forward, I think, is a little bit
Forward is more
harder.
difficult. At least we get more daylight in the evening. So, you know, the circadian rhythm, that's our internal clock, right? That sort of programs subconsciously the way our body responds to, like, going to sleep and waking up. You're not going to believe this.
What?
Guess who else has a circadian rhythm? I'm not talking about the animal kingdom.
Oh, no.
Plants do.
No.
Yes,
No.
they do. Yes, according to researchers, plants give themselves a strict nighttime routine.
No.
So they have enough energy to last throughout the night. And just like humans, again, they have a circadian rhythm that tells them when to go to sleep.
Are they laying down? Because, I mean, how do what are they doing?
Well, yeah, a lot of plants will actually close their petals. They'll close their blooms.
Okay. But
and
I'm
the shape
thinking
will
about
change.
my one single plant that I have at home.
That stick you have at home is not a plant.
It's alive and well, thank you very much. I don't know the name of said plant, but...
Well, you got to name your plants. You got to talk to them. Plants are people too, Courtney. We've been through this.
Plants.
Plants are people. They have a circadian rhythm.
Well, I just noticed its petals are toward, you know, toward the window, so it turned and got to the sunlight, but it's in the same position all the time.
You got to talk to your plants, cover them when the freeze
do.
comes. And you know, I've got a great tip for you. If you didn't cover your plants before the freeze, here's exactly what you do. Walk up to them, apologize, rip them out of the ground, and throw them in the trash because they're dead.
Can you have like a burial?
I mean, you could.
Ceremony or some sort?
Yeah.
Seems awfully barbaric to just throw it in the trash.
Well, I mean, they're dead. What are you going to do with them? Leave them in the house like you?
You never know. It might come back.
Okay. Well, today's a big day because it's not just Friday. It's also the day for our very special Houston Life prize wheel. So stay by your phones because it could be your chance to spin and win some pretty cool prizes.
Plus, we are heading to the zoo and getting face-to-face with some giant prehistoric creatures. Houston Life is back in 2 minutes.
That looks just like my ex.
Okay, it is Friday, but it's also National Unplugging Day.
I've never heard of this before.
So this holiday is actually celebrated on the first Friday in March. For 24 hours, people are encouraged to unplug, unwind, relax, and do things without, wait for it, technology, electronics, or social media.
Okay.
Unplug.
I mean, I really like this idea because you know me, Courtney, and I think our viewers know me well enough to know I have this thing like about phones. If I'm at dinner with you, I don't even want to see your phone on the table. You know?
Right.
It goes away in the pocket. Because I feel like when you're with someone, you want to be present. How often? I think we've probably all been in a scenario where you're chatting with someone and they're, yeah.
Totally not paying attention.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And then when you're done speaking, they're like, oh, I got to tell you about this thing. Oh, now you're going to put the phone down now that you have something to say? So I feel like we've sort of conditioned ourselves to interact in this socially bizarre way with our phones.
Unplug, it's a thing.
How do you unplug?
Just put it on the charger in another room and walk away?
And walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do the same thing. We'll leave it at home. You know, they actually have these little sleeping bags you can put your phones in to put them away, take a little nap.
Oh, like a plant.
Isn't that adorable?
Lovely.
Plants are people too. Phones are not people, they're phones. We do want to hear from you. How do you unplug to stay connected with others? You can join the conversation by posting on our Houston Life Facebook page. Okay, we're going to shift gears, head back out to the zoo where they are taking us back to the past with their new prehistoric beast exhibit, which is opening tomorrow.
And Joe Sam is there to give us a sneak peek. Hey, Joe.
Hey guys, look who I have behind me. That's my cousin. He's just hanging out, having a good time here at the Houston Zoo. You can hear them roaring. They're excited to be on TV today. And also who's excited to be with us today is Lauren, the manager here at Houston Zoo. We want to talk a little bit more about this amazing prehistoric exhibit with all of these beasts. They are making some noise today.
Oh yes, they are roaring. They are ready for a good time. So we've got prehistoric beasts presented by TXU Energy. Opens tomorrow on March 6th. These guys once roamed the earth many years ago, and now you can see their counterparts here at the zoo.
And they have a lot of different counterparts. We're looking at this huge bear back here in the distance. I don't want to get too close to him. And then for our Game of Thrones lovers, we have the dire wolves in here too. What I love about them is that they look so realistic. And the cool thing is that, like you mentioned, you can go and see what their modern day counterparts will look like today.
That's right. So you can come see the beasts in this exhibit and then explore the rest of the zoo. You're going to see we've got bears, we've got tigers, so the saber-toothed tiger in here, and we've got plenty of reptiles that you can see, the distant cousins of the giant dinosaurs within the exhibit.
And you're doing something really cool for spring break too. Let's talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so spring break, we're going to be extending our hours so you can enjoy the zoo for an extra hour. We're closing at 6. And to keep our guests safe, we're going to ask that you do keep your mask, socially distance, and all of our tickets are going to be available online only. So no tickets at the gate. You got to buy them online.
And it opens again really quickly tomorrow. At what time can people start coming in?
9 a.m. tomorrow. You can come on in and see them. You can get your tickets to see it online.
And one thing I want to go ahead and show you guys before you do that is this big guy over here, the Gigantosaurus. We're calling him T-Rex's long-lost cousin.
Yes.
He is here for you all to come and check out here at the zoo. But for right now, we're going to be talking more about that. We're going to send things in the studio as we go and check out some more cool beasts.
Okay, the zoo is going to be great this weekend. Thank you, Joe Sam. Time now for the Houston Life Prize Wheel. This is the chance for you, our viewers, we love you so much, to win prizes when we spin to win.
That is right. I've been so excited to put on this feather boa today. Spinning today, we have the lovely Deborah Shepherd joining us live from Katie in her backyard. Hey, Deborah, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. Very excited. Thank you.
We're excited.
I love your show. I love your show.
Oh, Deborah, we love having you as a viewer, and we love your backyard. That pool looks so inviting. Beautiful time to be outside. Now, we've played the wheel only once before, so you will be our second winner. You know you have a chance to win Houston Life swag, $100 gift card to Landry's, or some NBC swag. Do you have a favorite?
Probably the Landry's gift card, of course.
Okay. I'm with you.
It's a popular choice. Okay, well, what do you say we go for it, Deborah? You ready for this?
I am ready. Thank you.
It's my first time. Here we go. We're going to spin the wheel, girlfriend.
Woo! Big money, big money.
Big money.
Come on, Deborah. We're rooting for you there, and Katie. And, a spin again.
Okay.
It is your lucky day. That is good luck. Okay, here we go.
What if we keep getting the spin agains?
Well, we're going to be here all day.
Landry's!
Woo, thank you.
Congratulations.
You got your wish.
Woo, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Listen, just let us know which Landry's. We'll meet you there.
Yeah, because in the fine print, you have to take Courtney and me.
Hey, that's okay. That'll work. That'll work.
Deborah from Katie, thank you so much. Congratulations on your $100 gift card to Landry's. And thank you so much for watching Houston Life.
Thank you for picking me. Love your show.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
And to the rest of our viewers, you can win as well. If you'd like your chance to spin to win right here live on Houston Life, just keep your eyes on our website, HoustonLife.tv, where we will have more info posted next week. You can also visit clicktohouston.com/contests, and it's very easy to sign up and register.
Every good show needs a costume change.
So this is now a good show?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, still to come on Houston Life. After decades of reporting in Houston, the one and only Phil Archer is hanging up his mic. We'll have a candid conversation about his career coming up a bit later on.
And after the break, we're rounding out our Momversations series with parenting advice. The moms weigh in on the best and worst when Houston Life continues. Well, all week long, we've been sharing our Momversations with you. It's been so much fun, from tackling mom guilt to parenting during the pandemic. And today, we're focusing on parenting advice, from the good, the bad, and to the, wait, what did someone just tell you? Amy, Sophia, and Britta are back for a candid conversation about motherhood. Let's talk about some of the worst advice that you guys got maybe for parenting. Did anybody tell you something that you thought, are you kidding me? Stay at home.
Everybody's crickets.
I know, right?
I know, right?
I had somebody tell me I was ridiculous for working, that I should really rethink my career.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
That's awful.
Talk about spreading mom guilt.
Right, exactly. No, one of my closest friends did tell me early on, because feeling guilty always going back to work with your first one.
Right.
Because she was able to stay home a lot. She works now, but she said, you know, what somebody told me, and I thought they were absolutely right, is you don't like to think that anybody can change the diapers or give a bottle to your baby as well as you can, and you want to bond with them. You feel guilty going back at 3 months. She said, but when they're really going to need you, you know, like if you're ever going to have that time is when they want to talk to you in the car after school, or, you know, like, and so that made me feel better. Yeah. And I thought that was good. And so, you know, by the time my kids were old enough, I was on the morning shift. So I kind of like that I have that time in the afternoon to talk to them. Or,
right,
you know.
right. They're a little bit older to kind of have that bond, right?
I think for me, the worst thing, now it just came to me, the worst thing that somebody ever said to me was early on when I had Ella, I was nursing and I chose to nurse. Moms who nurse and moms who
It's
do
not
bottles,
easy.
I'm for both, so I support whatever works for moms because it's not easy.
No.
So I chose to nurse, and it was so difficult for me, and I was plowing through, and I'm like, no, I'm going to do it. And somebody's like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that and stressing yourself out? And I think they were trying to help, but you know, it's the same if you just give them a bottle, you know, formula, and I'm like, leave me alone. I'm working so hard. I'm trying so hard, you know, and looking back, that was just the worst thing that
you
somebody
could say
said.
to
Like, why are
somebody.
you even doing that?
I know.
Because I'm trying. I'm trying as a mom.
Well, I'm trying to do what was important to you.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah.
And again, we mixed. We did both. We did bottle, we did formula, we did nursing, and it worked because the babies were happy.
Right.
Whatever works for moms at home, I'm a big supporter
Happy
of.
mom equals happy baby, for sure.
Yeah.
We did we mixed it all up too, but early on, I'm now thankful for this nurse whenever Jack was born, because I was trying, I'm like, no, I'm only gonna nurse. I'm not gonna give him the bottle. Nursing is better. That's what everybody told me. And so I'm only gonna nurse. And then, you know, finally, after the first time in the hospital, this nurse, who was very sweet, she's like, I think if you just give him a bottle, he'll stop crying. And so at the time I was very upset because I was like, okay. So she gave him a bottle and he was still crying. I'm like, you ruined it! You ruined it! Now she kind of like gave me a pass because then it was like, well, she ruined it. I didn't.
Yeah, exactly. It was her fault.
Right.
It is. It's so hard. I was the same way with both boys, but I also remember pumping in a live truck, which is really interesting.
Right.
You know, when you're out and about,
And it's August.
Yeah.
And right.
Yeah, and you're
And
sweating.
you're still emotional, and you're like, I'm just trying to get through it.
Photographers are knocking on the door. I'm not done. I'm not done yet. Go away. What about date night, Britta? I know that you do a lot of things at home and 3 kids, and so do you and your husband have a chance to do date night, or
No.
send the kids to bed? And no.
Date night happens when we have grandparents in town.
Okay.
And that's just our reality. You know, it's really different. I think all the parents out there that have a sped ed kid are just going to understand that if you have a special needs kid, it is really, really hard to get away. And it's just, so we wait for grandparents to be in town. We do have really close friends that will help give us that respite during the week, but you know, it's that guilt thing. I feel guilty being like, well, do we use that for dinner? You know, I should reserve that for when we really need it. Like, hey, something really important's going on and I really need help. But to put it on my friends just for like a date night, and now they're all gonna watch and be like, Britta, I told you, I'll watch the kids.
Right. You're like, it's not a hint.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, really, we just sort of wait until grandparents are in town, which the pandemic's been awesome for that.
Right.
And we take advantage of the time that we're with family. And then we can completely relax. You know what I mean? They're with their grandparents, and that's when I'm carefree.
Yeah. Right.
Completely carefree. And so that's when we get it in. But, you know, when that's not an option, you know, we do try and get that 30 minutes, like on a Saturday. Friday night, I'm too tired.
Right.
I mean, I wake up at 1:30 in the morning and sleep like 4 hours a night. So Friday night, I pass out with the kids. But Saturday night, we do usually watch a show together. So right now, we're watching Yellowstone.
Oh my gosh,
Right?
isn't it amazing?
So I guess
so
that counts
good.
as a date night, right?
Absolutely,
Like,
it's time
Saturday
together.
night, we watch our show and we don't cheat on each other. We wait until we're together and then we pick up wherever we were. Even if it's like 3 weeks and we haven't watched it, we'll sit down and watch
It's
our
your
show.
thing.
So there, I do have a date night.
Yes, you do. You have time together. What about you, Sophia?
Well, we try to do once a month. We would go out somewhere, just Dan and I. It's been like 2 months since the last time we went, just because of everything that's been going on. So we try to go at least once a month, like on an actual date. We get a babysitter and we go. We leave the kids, and my 4-year-old's like, "Don't leave me! Where are you going? Where are you going?" I'm like, "We gotta go." But
Don't look back.
That's when
Don't
you
look
need
back.
a strong
Run.
babysitter to hold them. A bear hug until I'm just kidding.
So funny. You know, it's we're the same way. Orlando and I are both transplants here, and our parents are older, and so we don't have any family at all. We have one babysitter that kind of rotates between 5 or 6 families that we have, so that's rare that happens. So we don't have the luxury of grandparents being around the corner. And I remember this was a couple months ago, AJ said to Orlando and I, "Mom, Dad, Connor and I, we're going to be upstairs. We have our snacks. Connor and I are going to watch a movie, and you and Mom can drink wine and kiss."
You're like, thanks, but I don't really feel like
I'm like, where did you ever see that?
I know.
You know? But it was the funniest thing. So now that's like, if we're texting about if we're going to watch our show or something, you want to drink wine and kiss tonight? You know, that's like our date night. I have to tell you, the conversations this week were so much fun. That was, I mean, date night is drink wine and kiss.
Yeah.
Perfect.
A story you will never forget.
Absolutely. We do have the complete interview. Just visit HoustonLife.tv. That's where all of those interviews are. And we also recorded some rapid fire questions with the moms. And I challenged the mom to describe motherhood in one word. So that clip is on Houston Life, the TV Facebook page there. So a few more laughs to come your way.
Very nice. And I thought it was great hearing from some of our moms here at KPRC too. Thanks, Courtney. That was fun. Coming up, award-winning actor Jeremy Piven is in Houston. We'll hear how he's adapted to life during the pandemic and the special relationship he has with his mom.
And we're going to get a check of what Keith, Lauren, and Frank have coming up for the news at 4. We're back in 2 minutes. Welcome back to Houston Life on this Friday. Courtney along with Derek. Ready to get this weekend started, right?
Yeah, just before 3:30 p.m. Now let's check in with Keith, Lauren, and Frank for a look at what's coming up at 4. How's the weather going to be this weekend as well, guys?
Well, we're hoping nice.
Can you see it on our faces? We are so happy that it is Friday. We are ready. Courtney, love the shoes.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for noticing.
Very cool, very cool. Well, it's Friday and everyone's ready for the weekend, as we just said. So, Frank, we hear a front is bringing in some changes.
You know what? I think what you see is what you get, to be honest. I mean, it's going to be crisp and cool this weekend, so there's that change. But I'll tell you what, if you have found any rain out there, you're one of the few. Maybe a little spritz on the windshield, but that's been it. You can see a lot of sunshine breaking through now. In fact, the low pressure system associated with this, and I'll put that in motion, is right down and moving into Louisiana right now. So it's taking most of the rain with it. There's the chance that we'll see some wraparound moisture and maybe a quick shower out of it. The atmosphere is awfully dry. You see that line right right there with all that clearing sky. So I wouldn't count on much, but the Futurecast wants to at least suggest right about midnight we could get a quick little shower trying to move through as all of this begins to clear. So we may get that, but I'll tell you, more than anything, it's going to be a nice weekend. Right now, downtown's at 73, 75 southwest. Galveston has had cloudy skies. They're at 65 degrees. So if you're going to take that dog for a little walk, I think you'll be in pretty good shape. 70, 68, 65 at 6, and 63 at 7. So a pop-up shower is a possibility. And then these crisp weekend temperatures, it's going to be nice right there in the low 70s for highs and the 50s for lows. And then a lot of sunshine is on the way, especially by the time we get to tomorrow. Okay. All in all, count on a great weekend.
That looks comfortable to me. I'm ready for it.
We'll look forward to that. That's for sure. Frank, thank you.
I will give you a look now at some of the other stories we're working on. More fallout from the ERCOT power outages. We're learning new details about what's to come for customers, including disconnection of services and late fees for those who cannot pay on time.
Wow. Plus, now that the state has added teachers to the list of people who can be vaccinated against COVID-19, what's the plan? We're looking at several Houston area districts and their efforts to get teachers the shot.
And student loan debt, it is on the rise across the country, according to data from the Fed. See how some employers and the federal government are working together to lessen this burden. Consumer expert Amy Davis will have that story ahead at 4 o'clock. A lot of stuff coming up on a Friday. It's not Friday Eve. It's not Friday Junior. It is Friday.
It's legit Friday.
We'll call it Saturday Eve. We love Friday.
It's a very good point, guys. We'll see you at 4 o'clock.
Well, our next guest is an award-winning actor who has quite the entourage.
Oh, I see what you did there. Jeremy PIVEN is in town this weekend, and I got the chance to chat with him about his stand-up tour and one of his biggest influences, his mom. Jeremy PIVEN, it is great to see you. So I know you've got shows coming up in Houston Friday and Saturday night at the IMPROV. We're going to get to the details in just a moment, but how has the past year, like during COVID, production, how has that affected you?
Yeah, I mean, productions are down. They're shooting about 20% of films right now. So I've been touring, doing stand-up comedy. You perform wherever you can. I've been performing at drive-in movie theaters, performing for cars, being heckled by Kia Sorentos. It's been awkward, but I love it.
Being heckled. Come on. Listen, I know stand-up is, it requires a very specific degree of talent. And in looking through your credit list, Jeremy, obviously people know you from Entourage, Mr. Selfridge. My mom is a huge fan of yours.
There you go.
Old school, Black Hawk Down. What do you think it is about you that has allowed you to have this broad appeal to a wide range of ages?
I have no clue. Probably because I'm incredibly vain, and I don't think about every morning I wake up and I go, oh wow, I'm really old. Let me do things that old people do. I don't know. I've been lucky enough to grow up in Chicago and grow up on the stage. My mom has been my acting teacher since I was a kid, and I think it's an honor to be able to perform, and you should not take that lightly and perform on your highest level. Put everything you have into it, and then the rest is out of your hands.
Yeah, let go, right? So speaking of Chicago, so you were a Second City performer, right? So you grew up doing improv is in your blood, and I feel like those skills, now that you're doing stand-up, obviously you have a long credit list on the small screen and on the big screen. How does the stand-up for you compare? Just describe to us that experience, because I know you made the joke about being heckled by those Kia Sorentos, but there's got to be a different kind of energy that you're able to get from a live audience that you don't have when you're shooting a film.
Completely. I mean, my reference for performing is live. And as you mentioned, I grew up doing sketch comedy at Second City. So I've been writing on my feet and doing comedy my whole life. So this is the same engine, but a different gear. You're alone. The stakes are higher, and it's up to you to navigate that space and make people laugh. And I kind of welcome that challenge and love it. The comment that I've gotten the most is people say, I had no idea you were this funny, which is one of those interesting backhanded compliments where I'm thinking, well, I've been performing for 100 years. And now finally you think I'm funny. So, your ego gets hurt, and then you realize that it's a great compliment that you've made them laugh for an hour.
A great compliment, but I get the backhanded thing. They're like, normally, we just thought you were very boring. We didn't realize you were so funny.
That's like when someone says, you know, you're surprisingly not, slightly attractive in person.
You're much better looking in person.
Right, indeed.
Thank you so much for that compliment. Okay, so Jeremy, you've talked a lot about your relationship with your mom. You just mentioned she's been your acting teacher. She's had a front row seat to your career. You've taken her to award shows. Can you describe to our viewers a little bit more just how important this relationship is in your life?
Oh, I don't like my mom. I don't know if you got the memo. No, I was just FaceTiming her last night, actually. No, I'm a mama's boy. My mother, Joyce Piven, has been my acting teacher since I was 8 years old. And I talk about this on stage. Watch this transition. I'm going to be at the Improv all weekend. And one of the things that I talk about is running lines with Joyce Piven. So if you ever saw Entourage, everything I said is already gold. I said to my mom's face. And she's a total pro. You know, she never gets offended. She understands that it's a fictional character. And people want to say to me, how can you possibly say all those things to your mom's face? And she totally gets it. She's an artist herself. And so, I don't know, she's a great woman. And I'm lucky to have her in my life. And she just got her second vaccine shot. So I'm excited to see her and someday possibly give her a hug again.
Oh my gosh, dude, I know exactly the feeling. My mother, who lives in Salt Lake City, Utah, Bobby Sharon Shore, she is awaiting her second vaccine. I haven't seen her in more than a year, so I'm right there with you.
Yeah, man, it's insanity. I wish everyone, health and happiness, and I think it's an essential service. By the way, I apologize for my camera work. This is a joke. We're at the point now where you guys are probably so sick of shaky cameras. You probably can't wait to have people back into your studios.
No, Jeremy, the fact that you have 3 Emmys, a Golden Globe, we can forgive your camera work a little bit because I'm pretty sure those wins were not for cinematography. Before we let you go, we want to recap the info for your shows happening here in Houston.
Yeah.
Friday night, 7:30 and 9:45 p.m. Saturday night, 7 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. Jeremy Piven, it is great to see you, and please come to Studio B. Please visit us in Houston Life once the pandemic's over.
I would love that. That would be amazing. You'll have a much clearer shot. I'll put some makeup on and I'll look like a human being. I'm excited.
Okay, perfect. And I'll bring my mom and you can bring yours. How about that?
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope when he comes, we can all wear a robe, because he's amazing. I love him. I've been a big fan of his for a very long time.
His deadpan delivery, too. You don't quite know when he's joking and when he's not, and I think that's one of his great skills, and I love that he's so close to his mom, of course.
Oh, absolutely, and a true talent. How about reading all those lines to his mom?
With his mom, Joyce Piven. Yeah, we'll check Jeremy out this weekend again at the Improv.
Great stuff. After the break, a Houston icon. We are chatting with Phil Archer as he says goodbye to KPRC2.
Say it ain't so. Don't leave us, Phil.
Well, welcome back. 44 years and endless stories. Phil Archer has been a staple at KPRC2, and now he's hanging up his mic and camera, and he joins us now to talk about his incredible career. Okay, yesterday was your last day. Did they at least send a car for you today? I mean, they made you drive back in on your first full day of retirement back into the building?
You worked in news, right? So you know how that works. No, they didn't send a car.
I'm teasing. Okay, did you wake up and think, I got to get on an editorial call today, I have to pitch my stories, or were you really in retirement mode?
Well, sort of. I started to sleep a little late, but then I got a phone call, so so it didn't work out this time. I'll give it a couple of days. It'll be.
Okay, well, and here's the thing. I think it's going to take a little bit for it to sink in, but I know the last 24 hours, even the last week, has probably been pretty touching for you to hear from all these people.
I've got to tell you, Courtney, I've been overwhelmed. I never expected to hear such nice things from so many people that I've known over the years. I mean, I'm hearing from people I haven't talked to in decades, wishing me happy retirement. All I can say is I guess the main emotion that I'm feeling about that is I'm just grateful to have been able to work in this town, for one thing, and to get to know all these great people that make this a great town. I couldn't have had a better career.
Well, we are going to miss seeing you. Of course, I loved running into you in the field and covering stories together, always laughed. You're the first person to tell me what the true meaning of bless your heart.
Well, that's a very Southern lady thing. I know. And my mother and her sisters were all Southern belles. So they would never speak disparagingly of someone, but they might put a little twist in there. So that's how you do that. Bless her heart.
Exactly. It just X's out that insult, doesn't it? You know, we've got a picture. This is you and I. I think this was 2012 at the rodeo. I think that was our special here that we ran on KPRC.
Oh, yeah.
The rodeo special that we were out there that day.
Did we still have the cook-off booth then? Do you remember?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And that's kind of your holy ground, right? You love going to the rodeo.
Well, I got to say, I didn't grow up on a ranch or a farm or anything like that, but yeah, I like horses, and those are really good folks that volunteer for that event, and it does a lot of good for this city, our county, our region.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's hard. Once you get out there, it's kind of hard not to get involved.
Exactly. And I think, Owen, doesn't he call you Cowboy Phil? Or maybe he's not the only one that calls you that. How do you even begin to think, Phil, over 44 years of covering stories? I know sometimes I think, I covered that, or I remember this story. I don't remember people's names, or it takes me a minute to kind of, go through this. Look, this just says young on my card. That's your
That was pretty young. That was pretty young. And I tell you, that was right about the time I was working overnight police, photographer, reporter.
A long time.
I met my wife on an overnight police scene.
You did?
She was a life flight nurse. And
oh my gosh.
They landed to take care of, it was a traffic accident. I've forgotten where it was exactly, but she had landed, and my wife's that high, and she couldn't get over a freight car to get to the people she needed to get to. 10 firefighters dropped what they were doing to help her get over, and so after that I started noticing her, and I've been noticing her ever since.
Ever since, huh? I love it. Smitten. I love it. Do you have another or any particular story that really sticks out to you? I know the last couple of days you've gone through memory lane here, but are there, hurricanes, flood? I mean, what is it, the one that kind of really resonates to you?
Well, you've covered crime stories, tough stories, that kind of thing. And you build a sort of resilience so that it doesn't get to you. But I've got to tell you, the story that I think about on a regular basis, still think about on a regular basis, didn't happen in Houston. It was Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
And it struck me then, and it still strikes me now. That was just about the saddest story I've ever been involved in.
Absolutely.
There was no bright light coming out of that anywhere.
No, you are so right.
Yeah.
And even I think in the midst of sort of high water, as we like to say here in Houston, you've covered your fair share of hurricanes, floods, and the threat of floods coming. And I can't help but think about the Memorial Day flood because what you did that day, and just kind of walking around and finding the stories and bringing those stories, because at that time I was not back on the air, so I was a viewer watching at home as this was happening.
Right.
And it was really incredible. I know we have video of the story that I'm talking about. We're going to roll that, I think. Do we have it? Coming, sort of. It's
because I'm trying to. I remember that's not Memorial Day, is it? Is that Memorial Day?
Memorial Day. I think it was
rescued
Memorial.
the dog.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just we just happened to be there, and somebody had to do something. So I and one of the guys that was running the boat, God bless him, just jumped in and got it. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I just think it's one of those things when you're out there in the story, a lot of times, as reporters, we are not part of the story. But you saw a moment. You were very human in that moment.
Well,
and
in these instances especially, when you're like the cold snap or a hurricane or something like that, you got to. I mean, and everybody does. I think everybody I know in the business at some time has to lend a hand because there's nobody there to do it.
That's
there's no one else there to do it. And we all pull together. I mean, that's one of the things about this town. We've been through some very rough weather events, and everybody pulls together and gets us through it and rebuilds.
Well, and I think we have a little message here for you too. Let's play the message.
Hello, Phil. Congratulations on your retirement after 44 years of Channel 2. You know, we spent a lot of time together. The Memorial Day flood, of course, jumping in that water and saving that dog named Archer, who now lives with me, of course. Thank you, Phil. But hey, listen, congratulations again, and God bless you. Enjoy that retirement, and thank you for what you've done for the greater Houston area.
Thank you, Congressman.
Yeah, so Congressman ended up adopting, or kept the dog.
Well, he's sheriff at that time.
You're right, right.
He and his family adopted the dog, named it Archer. It's a female dog.
That's okay.
So,
Archer fits.
You know.
But hang on, we've got another surprise for you.
Uh-oh.
Derek?
Well, the congressman couldn't be here, Bill, but his daughters, Tori and Cambry, are here.
And
girls, there's Archer.
And Archer came to say happy retirement.
Oh, she's a lot calmer, isn't she? Hello, sweetie. How you doing?
Oh, that is so sweet.
So she's a good dog?
Yes, sir.
She looks a little different now that she's all cleaned up.
All
and
cleaned
dry.
up. She's much spiffier, yes, I agree.
Well, Phil, it has been so awesome, and we're glad that you came back today for us to say happy retirement, congratulations, and hopefully tomorrow you can enjoy your retirement.
Well, I'll get busy. And let me just say, it's my pleasure to make my last appearance on television with you.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to be with an old friend.
I love it. Phil, congratulations. Thanks for telling all the stories, and we're certainly going to miss you.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. Stay right there. There is more Houston Life when we come back.
Well, welcome back here to Houston Life. We are at the Houston Zoo to talk all about their prehistoric beast exhibit that opens tomorrow for all of your families to come out and enjoy. They're making a connection between education and these prehistoric animals that we're looking at here. I have my friend with me, Brian, to talk about their long descendants, which you're holding in your hand right now. A whole lot smaller than what we're seeing right here, which I like.
Yes, much smaller. This is George, and George is a ball python. Now, unlike this lady here, this lady was probably a boa, a titanoboa, I believe. She's a python. There are slight differences. They're both constrictors. They like to squeeze their prey really hard. But this lady lays live birth, whereas this lady lays eggs.
Absolutely. You see, that's what people can learn when they come here. They're putting that connection so they can come check out the prehistoric exhibit first. There's over a dozen different prehistoric beasts like you saw earlier. And then they can go on the other side of the zoo and learn about their descendants that we have living with us now today, like I said, that we can actually live with. Because back then, we couldn't live with these guys. They would completely finish us off.
But we can live with these guys. They are very nice. They're very important to the environment, and if you see them here, you'll learn to save them in the wild.
Absolutely. This is something really cool that we want these families to come and check out. You can go and get your tickets right now at houstonzoo.org, and we're going to have a link on our website to where you can come and check out these animals and these creatures here. Absolutely amazing, especially if you love going back into historic times with these prehistoric beasts that we have here. Right now, we're going to send things back to you guys in the studio, and we want to end on this pretty lady right here. I'm calling her pretty from a distance, from a 7 feet distance. We're going to keep backing up.
She's beautiful.
Beautiful, but I can understand why you're a little nervous. Joe Sam, thank you so much. We love the Houston Zoo.
We certainly do.
Coming up after the break, a look at what's coming up on Monday's show, including how a major sports team is helping our kids.
But first, let's check in with Kevin Frazier for a look at what's coming up on entertainment tonight. Hey, Kevin.
Derek and Courtney, tune into ET tonight. What to expect from Harry and Meghan's explosive interview with Oprah. Plus, John Travolta's daughter, Ella, details on her first starring role. And that's tonight at 6:30, right here on KPRC2. Now, stay put. Houston Life. We'll be right back.
X.com.
Monday on Houston Life, we're celebrating Women's History Month by introducing you to a local business creating beautiful backpacks that spotlight African culture.
Plus, the Houston Rockets are teaming up with Reliant for the 5th annual HTX Reads Book Drive, benefiting the Barbara Bush Houston Literacy Foundation. Very nice. Looking forward to that on Monday. But now it is time to see what you had to say about today's question of the day. In honor of National Unplugging Day, we asked, how do you unplug to stay connected with others? We're going to get to some of your comments now. Kathleen writes in, no phone or internet after 7 p.m. for me. That's a great strategy because nothing kills my mood like checking my email before bed.
Ooh.
It just gets me thinking about work the next day.
I know. Everybody needs to disconnect for sure. Michael and Chi write in, create a reward system. For every 1 hour you stay unplugged, you get to drink 8 ounces of wine. Ooh. It adds up quickly. Trust the system. And bonus, redeem all of your wine while watching Houston Life.
I'll trade you a bottle of wine for some dumplings there, dudes. And Jody writes in, daily meditation is my sanity. Courtney, don't panic. A minute or two works. In case people don't get the reference, Courtney doesn't like yoga or meditation.
I wish I did. It doesn't work for me. I just can't I can't turn off my mind.
You think about all the things you have to do after you're done meditating.
Because everybody's at the end of class, namaste. Isn't this great? I feel wonderful. And I'm like, no. I'm more stressed.
All right. Maybe a glass of wine will help. Well, thanks so much for joining us today on Houston Life. It's time now for KPRC 2 News at 4 o'clock. Hi, guys.